gonna rank the best and worst funnels to run in 2025 to sell your coaching and digital products online. Some of these will make you rich, some of them will cost you time, energy, and leave you broke. My name is Arya, and over the last 3 years, I've run two of the biggest education companies in the space, and we've generated over $50 million online. And on top of that, I've worked with hundreds of coaches, teaching them how to go from 0 to 100K a month, from 100 to 500K a month, and from 500 to even $1 million a month with funnels. So now I'm going to use everything I've learned in the last 3 years to rank these funnels from best to worst and tell you which ones will make you rich in 2025 and beyond. Let's get into it. All right, guys, here we are. We've got our tier ranking and our funnels at the bottom. S tier being the best funnel to run, and then D tier being the worst funnel to run. Now, I rank these funnels on two simple categories. Number one is how easy is this funnel to set up? Can a beginner marketer or someone that's not an expert or who's been in this internet marketing space a long time set up this funnel and not have to optimize it with a bunch of complexity to be able to have it make money? And then the second one is going to be, how much time does this funnel save me? Does this funnel run efficiently well at scale? Or is this a funnel that relies on a bunch of infrastructure and systems and a bunch of other shit that I have to set up that can break, which only causes headaches for me? So let's go ahead and get into it, guys. Starting off, we've got the DM funnel. The DM funnel, this is going to go in D tier. The DM funnel is solid for a beginner coach who's got like his first setter. He's starting out, maybe he's, doing 8 to 10K a month, and he wants to capture some low-hanging fruit. But this is not a funnel that you guys want to run long-term and scale to hundreds of thousands of dollars per month or even millions of dollars per month. It's very reliant on a front-end team of setters going through and having to manage leads. There's not a lot of infrastructure that lets you really quality control and check what's going on, how many messages we send today, how many calls did we book, how many calls did we triage. There's just not a lot of good systems set up around the DM funnel that are out in the marketplace. And you don't want to look at all those reports anyway from a massive team of setters. And number two, you got to have a sales team that's going to be taking a lot of these calls, and it's very reliant on a pre-call process making sure these leads show up. So this is not an efficient funnel that you want to run. Again, for your beginner coach who's making 8 to 10K a month, and he wants to turn these on to recapture some of his recent audience, his more to get a few more leads in the door and collect some more cash. Great funnel to run, but you don't want to rely on the DM funnel to take you incredibly far. Next up, we've got the book funnel. This one's going in C tier. Not many creators have book funnels. They're great for building authority in certain niches, but if you're doing make money online or some of the mainstream niches, book funnel is not really one that I've seen is very common. And it does do very well if you have the front end be the book, but then you also channel the leads to another funnel. So for example, you could have the front end be the book, but then one of the OTOs is, hey, attend my next live event. I've seen those funnels do pretty well, but most book funnels I know, they're not spending a ton of money on them, and they're not a big focus point of their business. Next up, we've got the VSL funnel. I'm going to put this in B tier, and here's why. This might be controversial. I know a lot of people like the VSL funnel and call funnels in general, but here's the reason I don't like them. One, VSLs typically are shorter than other dramatic demonstrations like a webinar or a challenge. And so I've never seen an instance where spending less time with the customer is more beneficial. You always want to spend more time with them, break more objections, kill some of their reservations, build more trust, and a 15-minute VSL is not better than something like a 2-hour webinar or a challenge. And so, one, I think the selling aspect of it isn't that great. There's just better alternatives. It does a decent job, but it's also heavily reliant at scale on a high-performing sales team. Guys, if you want to convert cold traffic and you want to do it fast, meaning it doesn't take multiple calls, it doesn't take time to collect cash is not longer than 30 days, you need to have a really good sales team, a dialed-in sales team. And the more you spend on this funnel, the more people you get through to the bottom of it, you're going to need more closers, which means more management, more data tracking, and a lot more things you have to be aware of and manage for this funnel to run really, really well. And on days you don't print, this funnel hurts. Imagine spending 30 grand on a VSL, and that day you spend it, the sales team, has a bunch of no-shows, and now you just broke even, or maybe you collected a little less than what you spent. So the call funnels are great, but again, I just think there's funnels that are much better in my opinion. Low ticket funnel, I'm going to shock some people and put this in C tier. The reason that I don't like low ticket funnels very much, yes, I know that they are great. There's a lot of expert marketers that run low ticket funnels, and they do very, very well. They get 50, 60, 70, 80 buyers a day, and they book a lot of calls from them. But that's the catch, guys. Those are expert marketers that have done intense market research, rigorous testing, and they've launched hundreds of low ticket funnels before. So they're experts at this. They've been in the game a long time, and they've got this framework down to the T. And to get front-end buyers for $7 to $27 and then expect those buyers to go from $7 to spending $5,000 and to do it at scale, it's pretty difficult for your beginner or intermediate marketer. So I think low ticket funnels are good, but the reason, like I said, I would put them in C tier is because I think for beginners and people that are just getting their feet wet or doing client work, probably don't recommend a low ticket funnel. There's better alternatives. Low ticket funnel is actually here again, but let's skip it. So we're going to go, guys, to the 5-day challenge, our very first S tier funnel. This challenge, this funnel is incredible, guys. The 5-day challenge can take cold traffic, organic traffic, any type of traffic, and if it's done relatively decent, can convert these customers from a total stranger who doesn't know you, doesn't know about your offer, doesn't know your story, the people you help, to spending thousands of dollars with you. Yes, it is a bitch to set up. Yes, there's a lot of infrastructure. Yes, you have to show up for 5 days as the creator or your client does, but these challenges rip. They do very, very well. And again, if you're trying to sell something, $20,000, $25,000, or even a little bit less, the 5-day challenge is what you're going to need to get it done. And on to our next one, we've got my beloved webinar funnel. Our second S tier funnel. In my opinion, the webinar funnel is the best overall funnel to launch, whether you're a beginner, if you're intermediate, if you're signing a new client, if you've been in the game for years. The webinar funnel is the best, the live webinar funnel. The reason I love this live webinar funnel so much is because you can take someone to join a free masterclass for 2 hours. You compress a buyer's journey that could have been many weeks or many months long. You take someone from following you, seeing your content a couple times, having considerations about buying, making comparisons, to they join a 2-hour class. You give them tons of value, and then they end up spending $1,000 or sometimes even more, or booking a call with you to purchase your offer. In my opinion, the webinar funnel is the best overall funnel. Nothing has changed. It's still been the best funnel for many years. And if you want to print and whether you're doing a launch or you're setting this up, whether you're doing a launch or you're setting this up live, whether you're doing a brand new launch or you're setting this up to run every single week or once a month, the webinar funnel is undeniable. It prints cash. And now we've got the lead magnet funnel. This is going to go in D tier. This funnel is poo, and here's why. The lead magnet funnel, guys, is great if you want to collect emails, opt-ins, and get data, but this funnel does virtually no selling whatsoever. And that's just... So who the fuck wants to run this funnel? If it does no selling and it's just getting you leads, you now have to do the selling, which means I need setters, or I need to book calls with these people. I need to nurture them. And again, you're just working harder, not smarter. So this funnel, not great. I'd set it up if you just want to collect emails, or if you don't want a lot of work, maybe you're using something like StanStore or Kajabi funnels, set up a lead magnet funnel. But other than that, I wouldn't recommend this if you're trying to actually make money online. And then the last funnel is going to be our 3-day challenge funnel. I'm going to put this one in A tier. And the reason it goes in A tier is because there's pros and cons. The pros, takes less time to set up. As a creator, you show up 2 less days, but the con is because you're spending a little less time with the customer, you got less time to transform them and less time to make a selling argument for them to buy your offer. So it's a little more difficult to sell ticket prices above $15,000 with a 3-day challenge. You want to be kind of in that $7,500 to $10,000 sweet spot, maybe 12.5K, but the 3-day challenge still does well. It takes less time, but if you're trying to sell something north of 12.5 grand, you're going to have difficulty doing it with the 3-day challenge. And that's why it takes a backseat to the 5-day challenge funnel.